These are the bodies of the missing couple. The woman was taken advantage of. So was the man. What? Even the man was? Hey friends! Kevin and I finally reached Dardanelle. The town is just so beautiful and peaceful. Can't wait to hike up these mountains. She made me drive the whole ride here. How many times are you going to mention that? Anyways, we'll be vlogging the entire trip, so don't miss out on the fun. Amber is a BI TikTok influencer. After 2 years of running her channel, her content went viral. And eventually, with all the success, Kevin decided to leave his 9-to-5 job and invest himself online as well. And the couple have been working together since. For their next video, they decided to take a trip to the Sierra Nevadas in California and do a scenic photo shoot up in the mountains. So the couple booked a lodge in the small town of Dardanelle for a couple of days. Welcome to Dardanelle. I'm Roger Wilson. We spoke over the phone. Thank you so much for arranging this for us. No problem. Here are the keys. Mr. Wilson, how far will the marketplace be from here? Only about 20 minutes. It's a great neighborhood, but I'd advise you to stay careful. Lock up whenever you leave, and especially at night. Mr. Wilson passed a glance at the house across the street. Not everyone is trustworthy around here. What do you mean? Don't want to scare you off, but the man across the street, Edward Collins, he's got a criminal record. Got arrested with charges of taking his wife's life, but they had to let him go due to lack of evidence. It's better you don't cross paths with him. People around here don't really talk to him. After a little talk with Mr. Wilson, he left Amber and Kevin with the keys to the house. Wow, he couldn't have told us that when we were booking? Well, we're only here for 3 days. It shouldn't be an issue. The couple brought in their things and started unpacking, when they suddenly heard the doorbell. Amber went to open the door and found a package delivered. We didn't order anything, did we? She asked, bringing it in. Nope, does it have a name on it? Let me check. As the couple inspected the box, there was a loud knock on the door. This time, Kevin went to check, and was a bit shocked to see it was the man from across the street. There was a rude glare in his eyes as he scoffed. I saw you two taking my package. Oh, it's yours. It was delivered here by accident. Then you should have left it out. Amber and Kevin were unnerved by how aggressive the man was. It wasn't intended. It's all yours, man. Kevin casually said as he handed him the box. Don't touch my things. And stay away from my property. He scowled before he grabbed it and left. That was rude. You never have to look for trouble. Trouble always finds you. The first night, Amber and Kevin took their precautions and locked up their doors and windows before going to bed. They had a lot planned for tomorrow and they needed rest. Good morning, friends. It's a new day and time for a new adventure, but fate had it would rain today. The next morning, the weather turned out to be horrible, so Amber and Kevin had to delay their hiking trip. Kevin, why can't I find my makeup kit? I told you to pack it in the bag before we left. You did? Kevin, I can't believe you. How are we gonna do the photo shoot? With the camera? Where are you going? To the store? Without much choice, Amber headed out towards the market, hoping she could improvise. Luckily, she found a small cosmetics shop about 15 minutes away. Welcome to Cheryl's. Wow, this shade will suit you so well. Amber looked at the woman behind the counter. You really think so? Just then, a man joined them. Absolutely. You look new around here. We always give new customers a discount. Oh wow, thank you. And yeah. Thank you. And yeah, my boyfriend and I were on a trip. I'm Cheryl. And this is my husband Spencer. And this is our small shop. The woman chuckled. So, have you checked out the mountains yet? It's beautiful here. Not yet, but we're actually here to shoot for my TikTok channel, Amber Green. Hold on a minute. Amber Green from BII TikTok? No wonder you look so familiar. I've seen your content. Wow, it's nice to meet fans out this far. After a little chit-chat with Cheryl and Spencer, Amber got his things and headed back to the lodge. It was still pouring and it seemed they would have to spend the day in. Guess what? The people around here are actually really nice. I met the sweetest couple at the store. Yeah, hold on. Kevin said, engrossed watching the news. What is it? Check this out. The police discovered a couple's body here. Horrible condition. Both of them were taken advantage of. Woman and man. Whoa, not far from here. We should be careful. That night, Amber and Kevin got their equipment ready and hoped the next day they would be able to head out. Fortunately, the skies cleared up the next morning. So they packed some more supplies and drove out to the mountainside. After driving by car to a certain extent, they had to walk the rest of the way. We're almost to the top, you guys. Can't wait for the view. Hope we make it before sunset. It was an exhausting day, but Amber and Kevin made it to the top and completed their photo shoot. After a break, they decided to head back to the car before it got too dark. But when they got there, they were met by surprise. The car tires are all punctured? Punctured or slashed? How did this happen? Leave how it happened. How are we gonna get home? We're gonna need a tow truck up here. If we can find network. Amber and Kevin took out their devices to check their location. Just when they heard footsteps behind them, Amber turned, startled to see Cheryl and Spencer. You guys? You guys? What are you doing here? Cheryl smiled at her. Is this your boyfriend? Yeah, this is Kevin. Kevin, this is Cheryl and Spencer. They own a shop here. Hey, you guys out here to hike? Spencer chuckled. We just came out here to play a little game. Game? What game? Cheryl took out a perfume from her bag. Have you smelled this fragrance before? Amber woke up feeling lightheaded and dizzy. She could hear the sound of fire crackling, voices murmuring. As she tried to move, she realized her hands and legs were tied. Coming to her senses, she opened her eyes, panicked to see Kevin tied up beside her, and in front of them, Cheryl and Spencer. Oh goody, you two are finally awake. Why are you doing this to us? For fun. Cheryl got up and suddenly took off her wig. Amber was shocked, realizing she was a he. You're a man? Yes, I am. But I have to be like this to please my love. You see, Spencer has a thing for women. He had his eyes on you ever since you came to the shop. But I also have a deal with him. Whenever he's going to enjoy any woman other than me, I'm going to enjoy that woman's man, Cheryl said as he stooped down to Kevin. Seeing him struggle to get loose, Spencer chuckled. Don't worry, you guys will have fun too. And if you need a little help with that, we have that too. Oh, sweetheart. Sweetheart, you always know how to get things done. Amber and Kevin anxiously looked at each other. How were they going to get out of this? As they struggled with their lives to get loose. All of a sudden, there was a noise. Spencer and Cheryl turned around to see someone limp out of the darkness. You're alive? Your games are over. Edward Collins was a middle-aged man, living a simple life in Dardanelle with his wife, Bella. They had been married for almost 25 years. They had no children, but the couple were content together. Bella was the happiness of Edward's life. In fact, everyone in town knew her as the sweetest and most kind woman. Unlike Edward, who was a bit ill-tempered, Bella had good relations with almost everyone in the neighborhood. But it was one day, Bella suddenly went missing. Edward was distressed. He searched everywhere. He went to the police, but she was nowhere to be found. Until 3 days later, Bella's body was discovered by the riverside in a horrible condition. Edward was devastated. He couldn't bear the news of her demise. But in that time of despair and agony, things only became more difficult when the police suspected Edward as the criminal. Edward was arrested on the charges of his wife's murder. After the autopsy was done, the police discovered the DNA of another male on Bella's body and confirmed that she had been taken advantage of before she was killed. Moreover, due to lack of evidence supporting Edward was the culprit, they had to let him go. Despite being released, this incident had caused the townspeople to rumor about him. And though he knew the truth of how much he loved Bella, Edward never fought against the people to prove his own innocence. But it was ever since he became vigilant to find out who had done this to his wife. He began investigating the case and soon noticed there were similar incidents occurring in the town, sometimes with tourists and sometimes local men and women, but in every case it was a couple. Whoever was behind this had to be strong. Perhaps it was even more than one person. And in all this, Edward began suspecting Cheryl and Spencer. There was just something about them that didn't seem right to him, and he kept an eye on them. But it wasn't until he noticed Amber and Kevin move in next door that he started to get further into the case. They're a perfect target. So far, the victims were mostly young and good-looking couples. Both man and woman were found taken advantage of. And Amber and Kevin fit the description perfectly. Edward kept an eye on them and soon got to know they were here for a photo shoot and would go out into the mountains. Suspecting they might be targeted there, Edward decided to follow after them. That was when he noticed it wasn't just him, but Cheryl and Spencer were following them as well. Where are they going? But it was at a certain point. Suddenly, Cheryl and Spencer stopped their car. What happened, sweetheart? Just a minor annoyance. What are they waiting for? Edward realized they had spotted him. If he didn't drive on, they would know he was following them. So Edward decided to casually pass by them. But it was just as he reached near their car, Spencer drew out a rod and hit him over his head, causing him to lose his balance. Oh, nice, sweetheart. You're so smart and strong. And then, with Edward gone, Spencer and Cheryl went on with their plan. But what they didn't know was that it wasn't Edward's time yet. Edward was determined to find the culprit. And finally, after so many years, he did. Looking at Spencer and Cheryl lifeless on the ground, Edward let out a deep sigh. Bella, I took your revenge. Click on the subscribe button and check out more awesome videos on our channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon because you know it's interesting.